What is up, guys? And I am back with my player ratings after Liverpool went up to Glasgow and trounced Rangers by 7 goals to 1. Perfect response for the critics. Mohamed Salah hat-trick, Champions League record-breaking hat-trick with regard to the time, 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Duo for Bobby Firmino, or a brace as we should be saying. A goal for Harvey Elliott and a goal for Darwin Núñez as well. You know, if Carlsberg made match days, this would be right up there with them, wouldn't it? So look, I'm going to fly through my player ratings as always. Starting off with the big man between the sticks. There was absolutely nothing he could have done with Scott Arfield's goal because it was really well taken and put in the corner. So I've got no critiquing of Alisson today. He gets a 7 from me, and we're going to move on to the players who we can actually really talk about in a bit more detail because Alisson was an observer for a lot of the game. Joe Gomez. Joe, there was loads of stuff I liked from Joe today, I'll be honest with you. There was one challenge where, I can't remember which Rangers player he was, but he just brushed them off like he was a child and Joe was the adult. It was beautiful. But most importantly, let's just give him the credit that he deserves for that amazing assist for Bobby Firmino second. It came obviously because Harvey headed the ball around the corner past the Rangers player. Joe ran into the space, and to say it was pinpoint, to say it was precision is an understatement. Bobby didn't have to break stride. It was beautiful from Joe. And again, I think we looked more solid. Yes, we conceded first in the game. It wasn't on Joe's side of the pitch, in fairness. But ultimately, we came back and we roared back. And Joe was part of that. I'm happy that Joe's there because we look a bit more solid. If I'm critiquing him a little bit, there was one or two times where I thought that, again, I know it's hard for a defender at the far post when players are coming in behind you, but I'd like him to be just a little bit more aware there maybe. But that being said, Joe gets a good 7 from me. That was a great assist from Joe today. Well done, Joe. Ibu, I thought he would have got a header goal today, but how great is it having him back alongside Verge? What a centre-back pairing they are. And this man is only going to get better as well as he gets older, as he gets, I would say, as he grows into an adult's body, but I don't know how much more growing he can do because he's a beast of a man already. But yeah, I love having Ibu in the team. And alongside Van Dijk, I would argue that I think he's been a better defender this season than Virgil van Dijk. So Ibu, I'm going to give you an 8 today, mate. I'm sure somebody will tell me I'm wrong for some reason or another, but you know what? I don't care. Not today. We move on to Virgil van Dijk. One of my real gripes with Virg is that whenever he heads the ball, he doesn't seem to be able to pick out a teammate. I know, it's a small gripe, but it's an annoying one for me. But look, ultimately, I'm not going to nitpick today. He gets a 7, and we move on. Virgil van Dijk, ladies and gentlemen, greatest centre-half the world's ever seen. Maybe not this season, but who cares? We're all happy, aren't we? We move on to Costas. I thought it was a mixed bag from Costas today. I've got to be honest with you. I've been one of his biggest cheerleaders so far at the start of his Liverpool career. And I want to talk about his corner, firstly, for the first goal. I spoke about Joe putting the ball to Bobby that he didn't need to break stride in. Well, he didn't even need to move for Costas' delivery for that corner. It was pinpoint. It was executed perfectly, and Bobby finished it off wonderfully. Everybody was keeping an eye on Van Dijk and Canade. Everybody thought the ball was going there. But Costas and Bobby had that routine worked out and it was executed to perfection. Take about Costas. Look, it wasn't his best game. I can't lie. I'm going to give him a 6, but that delivery was absolutely top notch. Jordan Henderson. It's difficult for me to speak about Henderson's performance today because we were up against a far inferior team. But he did the job alongside Fabinho. I still think in possession or receiving the ball at times, he's too negative. And I'm not jumping on the train. I'm not being the person that says Jordan Henderson only passes sideways and backwards. He doesn't. He can, of course, pick out forward passes. But I would like to see him just have a look over his shoulder, a look around him before he receives the ball. Because there's far too many times where if he just drops his shoulder, he's in space. And if he had had a look, he'd have seen it. And a great example of this type of behaviour is Harvey Elliott in the first half. He picks up the ball just inside the Rangers half and he drops his shoulder and he's run straight into the space. He tries to slip it in right hand side, then it's over here. But I just wish if Hendo could add that to his game, I think it would take away a lot of the negativity that people seem to think about him when it comes to how he passes. But ultimately, we won the battle in midfield overall, and Henderson and Fabinho were playing in there. So today, I'm going to give the captain a 7, and we move on. Fabinho. I thought Henderson was the better of the two midfielders today, if I'm being honest, and I do view it as two central midfielders today. Fabinho, look, he just isn't up to his best. That's all I can say at the minute. I don't know if it's stuff in his personal life. I think there was some issues. Maybe I think his house might have been burgled, and there was talk that he could be staying in a hotel for a while and stuff. You know, if you've got your missus and she's pregnant, you want to make sure everybody's safe and well. So I don't know if that's been weighing on his mind. So I want to take that into account. Of course, I love Fabinho, and I hope he gets back to his best, but he isn't quite there at the minute. So I'm going to give him a 6 today. But again, I don't want to overly critique. Harvey Elliott. I was delighted to see Klopp give a chance to Harvey Elliott and to Fabio Carvalho today, and he didn't disappoint Elliott. I think we were all smiling when he had his fingers crossed and he was waiting for that VAR decision for his goal. Even Salah was over with him, hands on his shoulder. He's just a player that makes me smile when he plays. And look, he's not the finished article, but nor should he be. But I tell you what, he's got a wand of a foot, and he's a player that'll get us up off our seats, and I'm very, very much looking forward to Harvey Elliott's career at the club. I love the lad, I won't lie. 7 for me for Harvey today. You know what? No, I'm changing that. An 8 for me for Harvey today, even though it's a 7 and 8 there. I'm giving him an 8, and we move on. Fabio Carvalho, I thought he was good today. He wasn't perfect. There was a couple of times he was dispossessed, and a couple of times maybe he dwelt on the ball or wasn't aware of his surroundings when he received it a bit. But again, he did not look out of place one bit there on a Champions League night away from home. And it was a massive nod of respect from Jurgen Klopp to play him today. And I think he can consider himself quite happy with his performance. I know I certainly am. And again, I look forward to seeing him developing at the football club. What a signing he has been from Fulham. I think we'll look back at it as an absolute snip, an absolute bargain down the line. Fabio Carvalho is one hell of a football player. I'm going to give him a 7 today as well. I gave Elliott an 8. I thought he was slightly better than the two younger players. But again, can't wait to see him. Keep doing your thing, Fabio, because we're looking forward to seeing your career at the club, mate. We move on then to Darwin Núñez. I said this before the game. I wonder if the critiquing and the slagging off of Darwin has been because Haaland has come to the league, and Haaland is doing Haaland things that no other striker can really hold a candle to at the moment. So I feel like he's been judged harshly, Darwin Núñez. I am very happy with what I am seeing from Darwin. There's already talk of some of our fan base about, would you move him on next summer and yada yada. No, I wouldn't. He isn't the finished article, but we knew when we were getting him that he wasn't the finished article. Yes, his touch can be a little bit erratic at times. Yes, I would like to see him work on his runs, especially across the near post. But you know what? What you will never hear me critique about is his attitude, is his determination and his work rate, and the rest will come as he gets older, as he gets more wiser and he gets used to his teammates and he starts understanding the language as well. That's going to be another thing. But I tell you what, his goal today was very, very well taken. So Darwin, I'm going to give you an 8 today, fella, and I'm giving you a bonus point in there because you scored. So take it, enjoy it, and thank you. Bobby Firmino. I don't know about you guys, but it's going to be very hard to take the man of the match away from Mohamed Salah, who came on and scored a hat-trick in 6 minutes and 12 seconds. But I'm going to do it anyway. Bobby Firmino is back to Bobby's best. He started the season exactly like Klopp said he would. Klopp told us he was looking sharp, looking back to his best. And his goal-scoring run is just going on and on and on. And they're all different kinds of goals. They're headers, left foot, right foot. And he unselfishly laid the ball off for Darwin as well. Bobby Firmino, I love you, fella. Please, please keep doing what you're doing. And hopefully, if he does, the club give him a renewed deal and keep him a bit longer, because he's certainly playing himself into deserving a new deal. 9 for me for Bobby Firmino. Absolutely love the man. Thiago Alcantara. I'm going to give him a bonus point just for getting into the referee's face on the sidelines, because I didn't like that referee today one bit. I knew from the start of the game, inside 2 minutes, he was going to give Darwin nothing. And Thiago warming up a little bit too close to the pitch for the ref's liking was it was a moment I enjoyed. So look, Thiago, I don't know how to grade you today, mate, because I didn't really pay much attention to you when you came on. So let's just give you a 6 because that's your number and we move on. Andy Robertson. Did he? I've got to be honest, hand on heart, I was so carried away when I didn't even notice he got on. So, Robbo, I owe you an apology, fella. I'm going to have to gloss over this and ask you in the chat to let me know what we give Robbo, because I didn't even know he came on the pitch. That's how carried away with the goals I was getting. Mohamed Salah. I remember him coming on, don't you know? Oh, I remember. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Fastest Champions League hat-trick. Another record for our Egyptian king. And if there is ever a way to answer your critics, my man, this is it. Every one of those goals was a beaut. No tap-ins, no easy goals. McGregor was a spectator for a couple of them. Well done, Mo. Carry this form forward, mate. Go into the game against Manchester City at the weekend and play with that confidence and do your thing. I mean, look, he gets a 9 for his little cameo and a hat-trick. But still, Bobby's my man of the match. Got to be honest about that. James Milner. Nope, it's Diogo Jota next. Sorry. Diogo Jota, I would have started him. But when I heard Jurgen Klopp say that he received word from the medical team that he could only play a certain amount of minutes, it made sense, because you don't want to not have Thiago, Jota, Salah ready for Manchester City. So look, Jota should have scored when he came on. But you know what? Him missing that chance led to Harvey scoring, so we'll let him away with it. I don't really know how to grade him, so we'll give him a 7 because it was only a brief spell on the pitch. But I do love him as a footballer. He's a very intelligent player. And James Milner. Gotta be honest, the only time right now I want to see James Milner coming onto the field is when we're multiple goals ahead with 10 minutes to go in a game and we need somebody to come on and just help us see it out and just keep it simple and just don't let anyone's head drop and just keep everybody focused. And that's what Milner does. So 7 for Jimmy Milner. And that concludes my player ratings. And it is fitting that we end on a 7 because I don't know if you know this, but we just beat Rangers by 7 goals to 1, my friends. That sets us up for the game against Manchester City at the weekend. A humongous game in our season once again. I'm not that confident going into it, if I'm being honest, but I'm looking forward to it far more now than I was earlier on. So look, drop a like on the video. Let me know your player ratings in the chat, and thank you for your continued support. Bye-bye.